Now we're going to do the cleft graft, one of the 3 grafts that are most helpful when you're grafting fruit trees. Remember, if you can brush your teeth, you can graft fruit trees. It's that easy. Now, I hope you've seen the other 2 videos on whip and tongue grafting and also on bark grafting. The 3rd graft is the cleft graft that is used very commonly. Few simple steps to it. Here is step number 1. Here's the saw. We're grafting on this crab apple. Step number 1, I think you can handle it. Step number 2, we have to make the cleft. I'll just tidy this up just a little. There we go. So we make the cleft. By pushing the knife in, we are actually splitting the bark and splitting the entire stem. Seems a little brutal, but it's not bad. Okay, I take the knife out. Then I get the 2 pieces of scion wood that I cut in March. Now you don't need, a lot of people will use giant sticks, 8 or 10 buds. Nonsense. You only need 1, 2, or 3 buds. So this has 3 buds, and I'll show you the cut. We make a cut on each side. Now, you'll notice it's a little thicker on one side, thinner on the other side. I'll do the same thing with the second piece because we'll put 2 pieces in. There we go. A little thinner on one side, thicker on the other. The thick part goes on the outside, obviously. Now with a cleft graft, you need to have something to open this, to put the scion wood in, so that you can use a screwdriver. If it's a small piece, you can use your grafting knife. This is a fairly thick piece. So this is just a little chisel I had lying around. So you put the chisel in and you turn it. Now you take the thin edge and you put it right in the edge like that. And you take the chisel out. You take the second piece, find the thin part, put the thin edge in, and you line them up. If you can see it on this side, you're lining up the cambium area with the cambium area on the piece that you're grafting onto. Now this holds it in really tight, and it's quite an advantage. For example, 200 yards that way is the city of Edmonton Zoo. I have the largest population, arguably, of magpies and crows in the world because they feed on the animal's food. Now, if a big crow or a magpie sits on your graft, sometimes they can break them off. But with a cleft graft, it holds it in very, very tightly. That's my dog Molly. She doesn't like magpies or crows either. So, the next step, we just simply take the tape, wrap the tape around, the whole thing's in nicely. You can put it across the middle if you want, but don't jam the wax right down the crack there. Just sit it on top. The last step, we're going to touch the tips of the scions with the wax. We're going to wax it in. This happens to be a Wixen crab, which is quite a good crab for making cider. I may experiment with making some cider down the line. This will take in only 3 or 4 weeks. I will also put a label on it. Again, the dullest pencil is better than the sharpest memory. Wixen crab. That's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you see the other quick, concise ones on bark grafting and on whip and tongue grafting.